Beloved congregation, last week we considered how the Lord Jesus understood his messianic mission. He knew his purpose in this life was to go to the cross, and throughout his ministry he spoke over and over about his coming death. We had that text last week, "And I, if I be lifted up, will draw all men unto me." One example, and he spoke of, remember, being lifted up at 3 different occasions. He says to the Jews that when you have lifted up the Son of Man, then shall you know that I work the works of my Father. And he said to Nicodemus that as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so the Son of Man must be lifted up. And so he's speaking about this in different ways, but at some points it seems like he's dropping little hints, little sayings like these about being lifted up that were not so direct, not so blunt or clear. They would have left questions hanging in the minds of those who heard them. What does he mean? He spoke about being sent to do the will of his Father, but what does that mean? But then there were also times when he was very direct, especially to his disciples. We find one here in the passage we read, starting at verse 17. And in fact, on 3 separate occasions, this being the third one, he bluntly told his disciples that he was going to Jerusalem to suffer and to die and to rise again. And already at the first prediction, which was in Mark 8, Mark tells us that Jesus spake that saying.